My name is Emily Vance, and I am 38 years old. The weight of the homemade pumpkin pie is the only thing steadying my hands as I stand on the threshold of my parents' elegant suburban home. It's Thanksgiving. Through the leaded glass panels flanking the front door, I glimpse a kaleidoscope of movement. I count 24 relatives, all mingling beneath the warm, obnoxious glow of my mother's prized crystal chandelier. For a moment, I seriously consider turning around. I could drive back to my quiet one-bedroom apartment, spend the holiday with a frozen dinner and a mindless movie, and be perfectly, blissfully alone. But then my father spots me through the glass. There she is. His voice booms as he swings open the heavy oak door. Our number cruncher has arrived. I force a smile and step inside, the overwhelming aroma of sage and roasted turkey enveloping me like a too-hot blanket. My simple dress, a modest knee-length in deep teal, suddenly feels inadequate, like a thrift store find in a room full of designer labels. "Oh, you brought dessert," my mother Helen says. It's not a question. She accepts the pie from me with a perfunctory, light kiss to my cheek, her eyes already darting past me toward the driveway. "Is that all you brought?" "Just me and the pie, Mom," I answer, trying to keep my voice light. "It's from scratch. Your recipe. That's nice." She's already turning away, handing the pie to someone I don't recognize. My father, Frank, pats my shoulder, a gesture that feels more like a punctuation mark than affection. "Emily works with numbers. A very stable job at the bank, always punctual." The compliment lands like a backhanded slap. Always punctual, always reliable, always stable, always boring. I've heard variations of this my entire life, a neat and tidy label to contrast with my sister. My mother's phone chimes and her entire face brightens, a 1,000-watt smile that she never, ever aims at me. "Oh, that's your sister. Chloe is running a little late, everyone!" Traffic from the city is just dreadful. 30 minutes and counting, I murmur, but no one hears me. I'm shuffled toward the living room, where relatives cluster with drinks and appetizers I didn't make. A new development. My Uncle Bill raises his glass. "The accountant arrives? How's life balancing those books, Emily?" I'm an internal auditor. Actually, I correct him for what feels like the 100th time, accepting a flute of champagne from a passing tray. "And business is?" A sudden hush falls over the room, as if a switch has been thrown. It's so abrupt it's almost comical. Conversations halt mid-sentence. Heads turn toward the entryway. My sister has arrived. Chloe glides in, 35 minutes late, looking like she just stepped off a magazine cover. Her camel-colored Max Mara coat, which I recognize from last month's Vogue, drapes perfectly over her shoulders. The Prada handbag dangling from her wrist cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. "I am so sorry I'm late," she announces, not sounding sorry at all as she pulls off her sunglasses. The traffic was absolutely brutal. My mother rushes forward, beaming with a kind of blinding pride she never shows when introducing me. "You look stunning, sweetheart." She strokes the sleeve of Chloe's coat. "Is this new?" Chloe preens, handing her coat to our father as if he were a valet. "This old thing? I just picked it up last weekend. The color it called to me, you know." "You work so hard, honey," Mom gushes, her voice thick with admiration. "You deserve to treat yourself." I swallow hard and drain my entire champagne glass in one gulp. The irony burns worse than the bubbles. Chloe hasn't held a steady job in 3 years. She bounces between consulting gigs and lifestyle brand startups that somehow never last, but always come with impressive sounding titles and require new, expensive wardrobes. Dinner is served. Mom calls, saving me from escaping for a refill. I find myself seated at the kids' end of the extended table, between my 19-year-old cousin Megan and Uncle Bill's new girlfriend, whose name I've already forgotten. Across from me, Chloe holds court, regaling the table with dramatic, hilarious stories of her latest business venture, something involving social media influencers and luxury skincare brands. "Emily." My cousin Megan turns to me during a lull, her voice lowered. "I've been meaning to ask you something. I'm thinking about refinancing my student loans. The interest is just killing me, and I wondered if you might have some advice about restructuring." I lean in, genuinely pleased to be useful, to talk about something I actually understand. "Actually, there's a federal consolidation program I was just reading about that could really help. If your income is below a certain threshold." Not everyone wants to hear about math at dinner, dear, My mother's voice cuts in from 3 seats away. Her hearing is suddenly, selectively, sharp as a tack. She smiles warmly at Megan. Why don't you ask Chloe? She's absolutely brilliant with money. The table grows quiet. I stare at my plate, my fork suspended over the untouched slice of turkey. Chloe's laugh tinkles like ice cubes in a crystal glass. Oh, Mom, stop. Emily's the one who's always crunching numbers, she says, swirling her wine. And always so short on cash, it seems. My face burns hot. I can feel the flush creep up my neck. I manage my money just fine, Chloe, do you? She arches one perfect, micro-bladed eyebrow. The whole table is watching now. Then why are you always asking me for loans? The dining room temperature plummets 10 degrees. 23 pairs of eyes swing between us like spectators at a tennis match. I set my fork down. I have never asked you for money, I say, my voice shockingly steady despite the roaring in my ears. Not once. Oh, please, Emily. Chloe rolls her eyes, a performance for the crowd. You really should stop asking people for money. It's just embarrassing, for the whole family. The words slam into me like a physical blow. My ears ring with the sheer blinding audacity of her lie. It's a complete 180-degree inversion of our reality. No one speaks. No one defends me. Not my mother. Not my father. They both know the truth. They both know exactly which direction the money flows, and has flowed, for 5 straight years. Speaking of embarrassing, my father cuts in, his voice booming with forced joviality. Did anyone catch the Patriots game last Sunday? That fourth quarter was really something else. And just like that, the conversation lurches forward, flowing around my public humiliation, leaving it behind like roadkill no one wants to acknowledge. I sit frozen, transported back to when I was 10 years old, emptying my piggy bank, all 42 5z, to help buy Chloe a new sequined dance costume for her recital. Your sister needs it more than you do, Mom had said, patting my head. She has the recital, and it's so important to her. You're the practical one, Emily. You understand. The practical one. The responsible one. The one expected to sacrifice. The one who pays. I quietly excuse myself from the table, my napkin folded neatly by my plate. I walk to the downstairs powder room, the one with the floral wallpaper my mother loves. My hands are trembling as I lock the door behind me. But my mind has never been clearer. I pull out my phone. I open my banking app, my fingers moving with practiced speed. I stare at the 5, automatic, recurring payments scheduled to go out next week, just as they have every month for the past 5 years. Payment to Amex Chloe Reed, $250,000 payment to Visa's Chloe Reed, the $300 payment to Chase Chloe Reed, the $150 payment to USAA Car Insurance C Reed, $120 payment to Marcus personal loan to 60 powder total, my N180 per month, for 60 consecutive months. The evidence of my sister's financial vampirism glows on my screen in neat, organized rows. The grand total, a number I try not to think about, sits in my memory, no 52,800. Without hesitation, I select the first payment. I tap Manage Payment. I tap Cancel Recurring Payment. A confirmation message appears. Are you sure? Oh, I'm sure. One by one I cancel them all. Recurring payment cancelled. 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 I splash cold water on my burning face, blot it dry with one of Mom's decorative, and probably never used, guest towels, and unlock the door. I return to the dining room just as my pumpkin pie, the one I brought, is being served. There you are, Mom says. We started without you. That's fine. I slide back into my seat, a strange light-headed calm washing over me. I'm not really hungry for dessert anyway. My phone vibrates in my pocket. A confirmation email from my bank. The cancellations are complete. More coffee, Emily. Dad offers, the pot in his hand. I smile, a real genuine smile, and extend my cup. Yes, I think I'll have another. Thank you. For the first time in 5 years, I will not be paying for my sister's life while I eat. For the first time in my entire adult life, I am choosing myself. And it feels like the first breath after nearly drowning. Does this story feel familiar? So many of us, especially as we get older, find ourselves in roles we never asked for. The responsible one, the caregiver, the peacemaker. It can be exhausting. If you've ever felt taken for granted by your family, please click that like button. It helps to know these stories are being heard. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss what happens next in this fight for justice. The next day, the morning light filters through the blinds of my modest one, Bedroom apartment. I open my laptop at the small desk wedged between my kitchen and living room. The coffee maker gurgles, its familiar rhythm steadying my hands as I create a new spreadsheet. Header, payment history. Chloe Reed. My fingers move with the precision that makes me a valuable internal auditor. Each keystroke feels like reclaiming a piece of myself. I pull up my banking records, methodically copying every single payment made to or on behalf of my sister for the past 5 years. The spreadsheet grows, row by row. It's an archaeological dig through my own financial sacrifices. 3 separate credit card payments each month. The personal loan she'd taken out for startup capital, for a consulting business that never consulted. The car insurance for the luxury SUV she absolutely needed for client meetings that never seemed to happen. The total appears at the bottom of the column, the 52,800. The number sits there accusing me, not of generosity but of gullibility, of weakness. More 180 every single month. That was more than my own car payment and my student loan payment combined. It was money funneled directly from my 4,001 contributions, from my own savings, to maintain Chloe's carefully constructed facade of success. I save the document, password, protect it, and upload it to 3 separate secure cloud locations. Evidence secured. My phone vibrates. The screen lights up with Chloe's name for the 16th time since dawn. I silence it, but the text notifications keep appearing. A rapid-fire assault. I 8:02 a.m. Hey, something's wrong with the payments. Call me. At 8:30 a.m. Did you change banks or something? My AMX payment failed. I 99 did 15 a.m. Seriously, what did you do? The Visa company just called. Fix this! So at 10:00 a.m. my auto pay for the car was declined. Cattle, I'm in AK. So 11:30 a.m. WTF MMI. I NCU50 fans. Hat eyes happy minji. The messages escalate from confusion to panic to pure unfiltered rage. 15 calls. Over 30 messages. All in 24 hours. I place my phone screen down and continue working. By mid-afternoon, the inevitable happens. My mother's name appears. I answer on the 3rd ring. Emily. What is going on? Chloe says you're refusing to help her with something. Her voice carries that familiar, wary note of disappointment, as though I'm 10 years old again, selfishly refusing to share my Halloween candy. I've been paying her bills for 5 years, Mom, I say. My voice sounds different, steadier than I've ever heard it when speaking to her. She told everyone at Thanksgiving that I begged her for money. So I stopped. A sharp intake of breath. Emily, that's not what she meant. You know how Chloe gets when she's nervous. She exaggerates. It wasn't an exaggeration, Mom. It was a lie. And you and Dad sat there and let everyone believe it. You are being so dramatic. Family helps family. This is just a sibling squabble. I helped for 5 years. That's 52,800 of my money, Mom. A long, heavy pause, then rustling as the phone changes hands. Emily, my father's voice frank. He sounds older suddenly. What's this about money? Your sister says you cut her off without warning. Did she tell you why she needs my money every month? She's been having some cash flow problems with her business. You know that. Dad, I say, and the exhaustion hits me. She doesn't have a business. She hasn't had steady work in 3 years. She's been lying to you too? Another long silence. You've changed. He finally says, falling back on the only defense he has. You used to be so kind. The words strike deeper than I expected, but a new, cold clarity rises to meet the pain. I haven't changed, Dad. I just stopped letting people use my kindness as their personal safety net. The shocked silence that follows tells me they've never, not once, considered our family dynamic from this angle. The call ends awkwardly, with promises to talk about this later, which we all know means, we hope you come to your senses and fix this. I've barely set down my phone when it rings again. Emily, it's your cousin Megan. I'm just checking in. You left Thanksgiving so suddenly. Her voice is fishing for information. It was a difficult evening. I offer carefully. I bet. Chloe's been messaging everyone about her money problems. Something about you backing out of a loan. A bitter laugh escapes before I can catch it. I didn't back out of a loan. I just stopped making her monthly credit card payments after 5 years of secretly paying her bills. Wait. What? You've been paying her bills? But she has that huge house in Bellevue, and that's you, V! The surprise in Megan's voice confirms what I suspected. No one knew. How much are we talking about? Megan asks. 52,800. Holy, she whispers. Skila, Emily, that's... No wonder you always turn down the family ski trips. A lump forms in my throat. All those years of making excuses. Oh, I have a big audit at work. I'm saving for a house. I need to be available for emergencies. The truth was simpler and more painful. I couldn't afford both Chloe's lifestyle and my own. After Megan hangs up, promising discretion, I know she won't maintain eyes and I'm counting on it, my phone pings. A text from my other cousin, Ben. About time someone stood up to the golden child. The truth is spreading, and it's reframing 5 years of family gatherings. 5 years of Chloe arriving in designer clothes while I wore the same black dress. 5 years of her bringing expensive wines while I baked from scratch because it was cheaper. 5 years of her talking about luxury resorts while I quietly mentioned staycations. I close the spreadsheet. The documentation is complete. The payments are canceled. The truth is loose. For the first time in 5 years, all 880 of my Chloe payment will stay in my own account. The thought doesn't bring the satisfaction I expected. Just a hollow, quiet relief. Like finally removing a splinter that's been lodged so deep, you've built all your movements around avoiding the pain. The family group chat notification lights up my phone at 6:47 a.m. I squint at the screen and immediately wish I hadn't. It's from Chloe. Please keep our family in your prayers. My sister Emily is going through a very difficult time. Mental health struggles can manifest in many ways, including financial jealousy and irrational, paranoid behavior. We are all just praying for her healing. I stare at the ceiling, counting the popcorn ridges to keep from hurling my phone across the room. Within seconds, the responses flood in. Oh no, Chloe, what happened? Sending so much love to you all. Emily, we're here for you. Let us know what she needs. Should we organize a care package? Nobody asks me what happened. Nobody questions the validity. My sister's word is gospel and I am suddenly, publicly, the unstable family member having a breakdown. My mother calls within minutes. Emily Marie Vance. Full name. She's furious. You need to fix this before Thanksgiving is completely ruined. Fix what, exactly? I ask, padding to my kitchen to start the coffee. Don't play dumb. Your sister is devastated. You've humiliated her. Your father can barely look at his phone when she texts about you. She pauses, for effect. We raised you better than this. Did you ask Chloe exactly what I've done, Mom? She showed me the bank notifications. All those payments just canceled. She has bills, Emily. She has responsibilities. So do I say, my voice stronger than I intended. This isn't like you, she continues. The daughter I raised would never, ever abandon her sister. I watch the coffee drip, black and clarifying. The daughter you raised has been paying Chloe's bills for 5 years, while Chloe told everyone I was the one begging her for money. Did she mention that part? Silence. Taut as a wire. I'm going to be late for work. I interrupt an unprecedented act. Give Dad my love. I end the call. I open Facebook. Chloe's latest performance, a tastefully filtered, black and white photo of her staring pensively out a window. Caption, heartbroken when family members struggle with jealousy and can't be happy for you. Praying for healing during this difficult time. 27 sympathetic, sad face, and heart reactions already. I close the app. When I get to the office, something amazing happens. I work better than I have in months. Audits that normally require double checking seem crystal clear. You seem focused, my manager, Ken, comments. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. What I'm doing is keeping an extra 800 eddies a month and sleeping through the night. That evening, I go online and purchase a new desk for my home office. A solid oak, mid-century modern piece I've been eyeing for months, but could never justify while supporting Chloe's lifestyle. As I enter my credit card information, I feel none of the usual anxiety. No mental calculations about how this purchase might affect my ability to cover Chloe's car insurance. The true test arrives 3 days later. Chloe appears unannounced in my office building lobby. I spot her through the glass as I return from lunch. Designer sunglasses, perfect makeup, strategically disheveled. I'm so stressed, hair. How could you abandon me like this? She demands loudly the moment I'm within earshot. Tears stream down her cheeks, somehow not disturbing her mascara. After everything I've done for you. Heads turn. My co-workers slow their pace, pretending not to eavesdrop. I keep my voice low. This isn't the place to discuss your financial problems, Chloe. Financial problems. She laughs, a high, brittle sound. You're the one who's always needed my help. And now, when I need you, just temporarily, you cut me off. A security guard glances our way. Call me when you're ready to discuss a repayment plan, I say quietly. Repayment? The word hangs between us. Her tears vanish. Instantly. The transformation is impressive. The vulnerable victim is gone, replaced by cold, hard calculation. This isn't over, she hisses. She turns her stiletto heels clicking on the marble and storms out. I watch her go, feeling oddly calm. Saturday brings support. Megan arrives with lunch. The real story is getting out, she says. Ben called me after talking to your dad. Is it true she owes you over 50 grand? At 52,800, I confirm. But her total debt is closer to 96,000 by. Megan chokes on her sandwich. 96,000. How, that house? Mortgaged to the hilt, I reply. 3 maxed out credit cards, 2 personal loans, and the car lease is 3 months behind. I was just plugging the holes in a sinking ship. My phone buzzes. The Team Emily chat. Then it rings. An unfamiliar number. That's Mark's cell, Megan says. Chloe's husband. I answer, putting it on speaker. Emily, it's Mark. His voice is strained. We need to talk. I'm listening. I had no idea, he begins, his voice cracking. She hid everything. The payments. The debt. All of it. She told me the money from you was from a trust fund. One your grandmother left for both of you. I meet Megan's astonished gaze. I just want to say thank you, he continues. For helping her, for helping us, all these years. I thought we were stable, but we've been living a lie to keep up appearances. I'm so sorry, Emily. A strange weightlessness settles over me. I wasn't the only one she was lying to. The knock at my apartment door comes at 11:42 p.m. 3 thunderous blows. I know who it is. Chloe. Her hair is limp, her face stripped of makeup. She's wearing faded jeans and a t-shirt. Please, she whispers, her voice cracking. I'm falling apart, Em. Mark knows everything. I see the little girl who used to crawl into my bed during thunderstorms. But then I remember the Thanksgiving table. You should stop begging for money. It's embarrassing. Still. I step aside. Come in. She paces my living room like a caged animal. The credit card companies keep calling. The BMW. They're repossessing it next week. She sips the water I give her. Mum and Dad are heartbroken. You're tearing the family apart with this vendetta. I wait until the monologue runs out of steam. I've helped you for 5 years, Chloe. And I'm so grateful, she says, nodding eagerly. That's why I don't understand why you'd stop now. I let a pause stretch. That's 52,800, I say evenly. I have records. Her face shifts. It wasn't that much. You're exaggerating. Without a word, I open my laptop on the coffee table. The screen illuminates with the spreadsheet, dates, amounts, account numbers, notes documenting her calls, her excuses, her promises. 5 years of financial hemorrhaging. She stumbles. You always need to be the perfect one, don't you? You make so much more than me. I make 85,000 a year, Chloe, I say quietly. I live in this 1-bedroom apartment so I could afford to pay your bills. The silence that follows is the first honest moment we've shared in years. But we're sisters, she finally says, her voice small. I stand and walk to the door, opening it. You had 5 years of help, Chloe. 52,800 worth. That's enough. At the threshold, she turns, her eyes narrowed. You're heartless, she hisses. You'll regret this. No, I meet her gaze. You should regret confusing compassion with obligation. The door closes. 2 hours later, my mother calls. Then my father. $52,000. Dad's voice is faint. That can't be right. I can email you the documentation, I say, my finger already on the send button. But why would you keep giving her money all this time? Because she's family, I say, the words sharp. And you both taught me that family helps family, no matter what. The stunned silence on the other end is both vindication and heartbreak. Later that night, texts pour in. Uncle Bill, where's your compassion? Aunt Patricia, the family forgives. This is beneath you. But there are others. Cousin Ben, about damn time. Call if you need to. Megan, just heard. We're all behind you. Mom and Dad too. My phone pings. The extended family group chat. A message from Mark, Chloe's husband. Thank you all for your concern. Chloe and I are working through some financial difficulties that have come to light. We ask for your understanding. And Emily, thank you for your past support. It was not acknowledged properly. The family hierarchy, with Chloe at its center and me as the reliable moon, has begun to fracture. Thanksgiving was the dividing line. Before the truth and after. My father calls back. I've been looking at these statements you sent. All these years you've been. He trails off. We should talk. All of us, maybe Sunday dinner. Not yet, Dad, I say, surprising myself with the boundary. I need some time. Of course, he says too quickly. Whatever you need. Whatever I need. The words sound strange. They've never been the priority before. I curl up on my couch, wrapped in my grandmother's quilt. My apartment feels different. More mine. The $880 a month that funded Chloe's life will now fund mine. I close the laptop. Tomorrow will bring more calls, more people taking sides. But tonight, in the quiet aftermath of speaking my truth, I find something unexpected. Peace. The text from Mark glows on my phone. Family meeting. Our house. Tomorrow at 2. Just parents, you, and a few others. This needs to end. I stare at the words. In the week since I confronted Chloe, the family has fractured. Mom still calls, pleading. Dad has retreated into silence. Now, Mark is taking charge. When I arrive at their house, a modest tutor, much smaller than I'd been led to believe, Mark opens the door. His expression is grim. Thank you for coming, he says. This won't be easy. The living room feels like a courtroom. Mom and Dad sit stiffly on matching armchairs. Uncle Bill and Aunt Patricia are on the sofa. And in the center, on a single straight-backed chair, sits my grandmother, the family matriarch, her face a mask of disappointment. Chloe is nowhere in sight. I choose the corner of the sofa, maintaining my distance. This is unnecessary, Mom begins. Family disagreements should stay private. Not this one, Helen, Mark says, his voice firm. He places a thick manila folder on the coffee table. Not anymore. A door opens. Chloe enters. Her face is stripped of makeup. She's wearing plain jeans and a beige sweater. Her eyes are red, rimmed but dry. Sit down, Chloe, Mark says. She perches on the edge of the empty chair. I've asked you here, Mark begins. Because it's time everyone understood what's been happening. He opens the folder. Over the past 5 years, Chloe has accumulated personal debt totaling a 96,500. Mom gasps. Dad's head snaps up. That includes, Mark continues, the 52,800 that Emily has been paying in secret for 5 years. Money that Chloe told me came from a trust fund from her grandmother. My grandmother's sharp intake of breath cuts through the room. I never set up any such thing. I know that now, Mark says. He spreads credit card statements across the table. Purchases from Nordstrom, Saks, Neiman Marcus. Handbags, jewelry, clothes. All to maintain an appearance of success while we were drowning. This doesn't sound like the daughter we raised, Dad says, his voice shaking. I needed those things, Chloe whispers. Everyone expected me to be successful. Mom reaches toward her. Sweetheart, is this true? It's the first time I've ever heard my mother question Chloe's version of events. Chloe's composure crumbles. I just wanted everyone to be proud of me. By lying. Aunt Patricia's voice cuts like a blade. By stealing from your sister. I was going to pay her back, when? Mark asks. With what money? You haven't held a steady job in 3 years. The silence is a physical weight. Things will change, starting today, Mark says. We're selling the Range Rover. The vacation is cancelled. Chloe starts working 40 hours a week at my cousin's boutique on Monday. And we begin financial counseling on Thursday. But that's so extreme, Mom protests. It's necessary, Mark replies. And long overdue. My father turns to me, his eyes clouded with a regret I've never seen. We should have seen it sooner, he whispers. I'm sorry, Emily. The words I've waited my entire life to hear. They land softly, without the satisfaction I'd imagined. I nod once. For the first time in my memory, I am sitting in the middle of a family crisis, and I am not expected to fix it. I am neither savior nor villain. I am simply present. The next 6 months unfold. The family gossip shifts as the truth settles. Chloe works retail. She looks tired and humbled. Mark oversees their finances with a spreadsheet that echoes my own. When Mom calls now, her voice is hesitant. Dad asks me about my investment strategies. One Thursday, my phone pings. A bank notification. Deposit 600 Poseners. A text follows. It'll take years. But I'll pay you back, see? I stare at the screen. I remember the Thanksgiving table. You should stop begging for money. My fingers hover. I type just 2 words. Received, thank you. And not forgiveness. Not yet. But perhaps a door, left slightly open. The weight of the pumpkin, scented candle is steady in my hands as I stand on the threshold of Mark and Chloe's house. Thanksgiving. 1 year later. The house is modest. The decorations are simple. Dad opens the door. There she is. he says, and his voice holds something new. Respect. Happy Thanksgiving, Emily. The dining table has only 8 place settings. No crystal. Just white plates and cloth napkins. Chloe emerges from the kitchen, wearing jeans and a simple sweater. She's carrying a platter of turkey. Her hands are steady. Everything looks wonderful, I say. Her smile is small, but real. Thanks for coming. Mark suggests a toast. All eyes turn to him, but he nods to Chloe. She rises, lifting her water glass. To a family that tells us the truth, even when it hurts. My throat tightens. I raise my glass. The conversation flows. No facades. No competition. We just talk. Later, back in my apartment, I open my laptop. 12 payments, 600 each. Every month, on time. I scroll through my phone, deleting the old, pleading, angry messages from her. They're no longer necessary. I open my journal. The 52,800. If she were a stranger, I would have stopped years ago. But she was my sister. I pause. The monthly deposits aren't just restitution. They're an acknowledgement that my boundaries matter, that my sacrifice deserved recognition. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They are self-respect. I close the journal, feeling neither triumph nor regret. Just clarity. You can't save someone who is determined to sink, especially when they're the one pulling you under. Thank you for listening to my story. The lesson I had to learn, the hard way, is that there is a profound difference between helping and enabling. Helping is giving someone a hand up. Enabling is lying down so they can walk all over you. I had to learn that no is not a word of rejection, but a word of self-preservation. If you were in my shoes, what would you have done? A. Kept paying because family loyalty is unconditional. B. Refused to pay, but given them a final lump sum to wash your hands of it. C. Done exactly what I did. Cut them off completely to force them to face the truth. Comment your choice below. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't forgiving them. It's finally stopping yourself from waiting for them to change. And if this story resonated with you, and you believe in the power of setting boundaries and finding your own worth, please click that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next story.